Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. Now, we have an extreme weather pattern about to kick in, so I'm going to show you all the latest information. Remember, we do have severe weather as well. A lot of flooding coming to a lot of the U.S., and a potentially big snowstorm coming with this next dip of cold air. So remember, timestamps are always in the description below. Help save you time. Thank you to all of you that has time to watch the video all the way through. Now, let's get into your weather forecast. Now, you can see your dew points that it does raise all the way up to later tonight, keeping strong 60s all the way up to later tonight. But look at this, even 70s kicking in for today still for Texas all evening long, all the way to 11 o'clock for eastern Texas, bringing a lot of storms. And this shifts over towards southern Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi as you go through Friday. And look how it just grows for Mississippi and Alabama, a big area as well, bringing more thunderstorms. There is a strong amount of cape, a lot of lift as well as you come with this banding all evening long, all the way to 6 p.m. Storms reaching all the way into Oklahoma right there. And then it starts mottling down once you go overnight, and it stays right along the Gulf Coast. Then it forms right back up for tomorrow, bringing a lot of instability, a lot of lift for these thunderstorms to grow. Now, when you look at your significant tornado perimeters, it factors in a lot of different factors into the program of where the strengthening could be for your tornadoes. And you see it does grow as you go all the way from 3 p.m. all the way to 7 and 8, even 9 o'clock, going towards the DFW area. So as all this grows, it really grows a lot for Houston all evening long, really to early afternoon until noon and early afternoon long. And then it grows all night as it goes past 7 o'clock. Then it starts shifting towards Louisiana, right along the Gulf Coast. That's where all your strong dew points are. It's where a lot of your lift still is. And you get storms all evening long, all the way to early morning hour. Starts kicking over the New Orleans area, southern Mississippi for early morning. Then it goes towards southern Alabama, even the panhandle of Florida for tomorrow. It really brews right back up for tomorrow evening. So I will post one of these every single day. Plus all these storms that is brewing right over the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, all evening long till tomorrow morning. Then the transition on your snowfall. So there is a good snowstorm that's coming out of this for tomorrow morning as it transitions. Look at all that heavy banding, especially for Michigan. Look like it might miss Detroit. It's going to be close. It will change, just as always changes. Anything after a few hours will update and change. So when I check updraft helicity and chance for hail, you can see all the way till later tonight. It has them for northern Oklahoma, over here a little bit by Houston, and a lot of these are coming off into the Gulf. Maybe some water spouts. Be aware of that if you live along the Gulf Coast in Louisiana. Then as you go for tomorrow, it brews right back up for southern Mississippi, going into Alabama, and a little bit more for Texas and Louisiana. It's a very strong pattern of hail as well for tomorrow. Both days having hail. Still not showing a lot of damage in winds with HRRR, still showing in the high 40s. Maybe a little bit of the 50 in the orange as you go from eastern Texas and western Louisiana, southern, of course. And then as it goes across the Lake Pontchartrain, you might get some 50 miles per hour wind gusts. So be careful if you're going across that Causeway Bridge. But everything else just looks like it's just higher elevations for sure. So here's your latest update on your severe weather for today and your chance for tornadoes. You still have that big 10% as well. It's exactly the same as yesterday, a little bit smaller of an area. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for the tornado threat for today. You also have that wind threat and that hail threat. Both of them showing the same areas, guys, and it's both 5% for today. National Weather Service has it as scattered severe thunderstorms are possible today, especially over southeast Texas. A few tornadoes will be possible, along with hail and isolated damage and wind gusts. Farther north, hail along with a few strong wind gusts will also be possible across parts of east, north Texas and southern Oklahoma. Matter of fact, we got a big update, guys. Look, the enhanced section has disappeared, so that's good news. But it did stretch your tornado threat into Louisiana even more. So for today, you have a new 2% and a new 5% for tornadoes for today. And now National Weather Service says a few severe storms, tornadoes are possible this afternoon through tonight from southeast Texas into southern Louisiana. Farther north, isolated hail and strong wind gusts will also be possible across parts of east, north Texas, and southern Oklahoma still for that. Plus, you still have all these dew points for tomorrow building all the way up, going into the high 60s and staying all evening long. And it's going to shrink down, but stay there for Saturday as well. But when you look at your cape and you look at your lift, you can see all evening long. You do get it all the way to the early morning hours, right along the Gulf Coast, right along the West Bank, so be aware of that. And as you go into tomorrow morning, it really grows into the city, North Shore, also for southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, some of the panhandle of Florida. But then it grows for the evening, but it does start shrinking down. Once you get around 9 and 10 o'clock, really at 11, it's pretty much done with its instability, and it really can't be no farther to the north and right along the Gulf Coast once again as you go for Saturday morning, which is going to flex towards Georgia. But you can also see here from your significant tornado perimeters that as you go into tomorrow morning, that's really your best chance for southern Alabama, maybe by Mobile, panhandle of Florida, start growing your chances for some kind of tornado threat. And then as it grows into the evening, it starts raising up, but it's not as strong as what you have for today. But you do have a little warning out for it for tomorrow. But these storms are coming all evening long for you guys as well. Then early in the morning hours, still training, but then pick right back up for tomorrow afternoon as it comes to Louisiana and Florida, Mississippi, and Alabama while you go through tomorrow night, overnight. Then you go towards Saturday where it's going to cone out towards Georgia. So here's your update for Friday. You do have a chance for tornadoes. So far, a 2%. Here's your cities and states at risk so far for Friday for tornadoes. You also have the chance for wind and no chance for hail for Friday. So here's your area you need to concern about for Friday, guys. And National Weather Service is saying overnight, scattered storms, some severe, are possible over parts of the central Gulf Coast states on Friday, as well as overnight. And you can see for Saturday has grown as well. Here's your cities and states at risk for your severe weather risk for Saturday. I will let you know tomorrow morning whether there's any tornadoes involved in that. Now, National Weather Service has put this out for the Pacific Northwest. A long duration winter storm is about to kick in for y'all. It's a long duration event. It's going to bring a lot of snowfall. Now you can see they have it at a probability of better than 12 inches, better than a foot of snow in that red. So you're all definitely getting what I can see is 3 feet. The impacts is major impacts. So be careful on any kind of travel. And now make sure you do have your food stocked up and get ready for this event. It is heaviest snowfall and worst impacts is in the Cascades. Through early Sunday, there's a high chance above 70 of at least 12 inches of snow across the Cascade passes, including I-90. A high chance for at least 12 inches of snow also exists in the Olympic Mountains, so travel will be difficult and hazardous due to both heavy and blowing snow. Now you can see here with the Euro, after your severe weather, you are going to get that mix. You are going to get that snow, some of that freeze and rain as that transitions. As you start still getting that big snowstorm coming in from the northwest on December 1st, and as that comes out with the rain, as that comes through the Rocky Mountains from the 2nd, comes out through the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and the Northeast for the 4th. Still bringing a lot of snowfall. I'm seeing some trends of still that northern push. But then after that, then we're going to go into this extreme pattern. So the latest updates just the next 6 days with the Euro. I'm going to show you the other weather models. You can see it's still missing right along the coast, but it is showing a lot of snowfall adding up. Still showing over 3 feet in higher elevations of Washington and Oregon, and warning for Washington, Oregon, and Northern California. By this time, you're going to have a lot of rainfall as well. Only the next 6 days, you have a lot of precipitation coming your way, and it's going to be a heavy amount, still showing over a foot. So be warned of that as well. But look at all the snowfall also coming for Idaho, over a foot. Also western Montana, also going into western Wyoming as well. Higher elevations of Colorado and New Mexico. Utah, Nevada, y'all getting in on this as well. As it comes across the central U.S., still showing a light amount. We're still going above average temperatures where our daily highs is not going to be freezing like, we normally get this time of year. We're going to be a little above average. It don't mean it's going to be super warm, but if the storm comes in the daytime, this is what you get. If it came at nighttime, we would see more snow. But showing it's going to drop anywhere from a half an inch to an inch for almost everybody, guys. All across Ohio Valley. Michigan look like you get the heaviest banning from what I can see with HRRR. But getting towards northeastern Ohio getting some of that lake effect snow, western Pennsylvania, western New York, even getting towards New England, still showing over a foot. This is only the next 7 days, not if anything comes after. Trying to keep it as accurate as possible. There's so much going on, it's hard to find accuracy lately. Canadian shows about the same impacts, a little bit heavier in the central and still having that freezing rain transition as well. But you see, it's about the same. Just a little bit heavier. Maybe you might get a little area where you get a 2 to 5 or a 3 to 5 from somebody, but not showing a lot. Showing a lot different from Michigan and a lot different on the lake effect snow in the intercoastal northeast. So big changes when you go from model to model. Canadian is still seeing that freezing rain potential on it transition, and you can see with the GFS still showing the same thing for the Northwest. Has not changed through the model data. It has changed as it moves through the central U.S. And it's all about timing on these storms. GFS showing you could get 3 to 5 for Wisconsin on this transition and still showing maybe some for western New York. But look, it's a little bit different. It's showing some for Connecticut. It's showing Long Island, Rhode Island. It's a little bit different per model. It's still too early to know. Now, there has been an update on the risk for heavy snow, and you do see it has been removed from the northeast. So all the way from the 7th to the 10th, this is where we're getting that extreme pattern, guys. Cold air pushing in, and all this purple area, chance for heavy snowfall coming your way. And still showing a crazy amount of flooding is definitely coming to the Pacific Northwest. Not just the snowfall, this flooding is an extreme amount of atmospheric river. Next 3 days, Weather Prediction Center, all that red is all going towards 2 and 3 inches. That darker and brighter red goes towards 4, almost 5 for southwestern Louisiana, southeastern Texas. And you see it does go towards Alabama all the way into Georgia. Next 3 days, also for the Northwest. Look at all this heavy. They get into that orange, is going towards that 5. Then you go 2 days later, don't add up much here for the Southeast. They're already going towards a brown and the yellow. That's going towards 7 and 10 inches now. Even that bright yellow going towards 15 potentially. 2 more days, maybe even more. Once again, I can't stress how heavy this precipitation amount is, guys. This is a lot. Plus the amount of rainfall that's coming to the southeast to help this beneficial extreme drought that they are in exceptional drought. You can see here with the Euro, not only for the Northwest, but look over here for the southeast. Not bringing it too far to the north, and it's bringing a lot more towards the northeast. I want you to remember that. This is your GFS. It's showing that it's going further north into the south, this whole region. Not only northwest, they all show the Northwest is getting a lot of bad rainfall. But you see how it's further to the north, and it's lighter for the northeast, just bringing that trail for northern Illinois into Michigan. Now, when you look at National Weather Service, next 72 hours, let's refresh it. Next 72 hours, you can see on the northwest heaviness. But look how it goes further northern in the south and just right along the coast, which is good because all these people in this area need this rainfall, not just the Gulf Coast. And you can see also for the northeast, there's not a lot, and this is going from Illinois towards Michigan, like the GFS is showing. But to stay as accurate as possible, let's just talk about until 6 a.m. on Sunday, next 72 hours, what are you going to be getting in the northwest, in the southeast, as far as your rainfall amount? It is showing a lot. So look at this. So you can see the color palette and the legend down here on the bottom. All that red is getting very heavy, but all that brown is starting going towards that extreme level. All this higher elevation is going to be an extreme level of snowfall. And for the southeast as well, they need this rainfall dire. Look, southeast Texas, going into Louisiana, going northern into Louisiana, bring a lot of people 1 and 2, even 3 inches in some of these areas for this drought. They need this so bad. And you can see this here from your drought monitor. Exceptional drought, covering almost all of Louisiana, going further into Mississippi now, carrying to northern Alabama, carrying to Tennessee, going towards the Carolinas. A really bad area of exceptional and extreme drought really needs this rainfall. So I'm proud to announce that for today, please be careful, guys, that you do have that chance for flash flooding, and it has grown. Now you have a slight risk all the way from Houston all the way into Louisiana, with your marginal going all the way into southern Missouri. Now this is for today. For tomorrow, it's going to change. It's going to go all the way towards the southeast, right where you have that severe weather coming. And for Saturday, it's going to grow and go towards the Carolinas. Your chance for flash flooding, just the marginal. But you're also going to see here as you go into Saturday, it has grown for the northwest as well. So your flash flooding is really kicking in for Saturday, and it's going to go even stronger as you go into Sunday. Flash flooding coming your way. Please be aware of that. Also for Monday. Now we have this next weather pattern transition we're going into all the way till the 10th. All these high winds coming in, and you still see it. It's still coming in for the Gulf of Alaska as well. We're going to go into an extreme pattern where our trough is going to go way down. Our subtropical jet is going to get kicked in, and it's going to bring a very deep trough all the way towards the south, towards Mexico. And then it's going to go towards the east, bringing a chance for not only high winds and storms, bringing a chance for a big snowstorm during this transition, guys. This is going to be an extreme weather pattern that we are about to go into. And the subtropical jet is bringing it way down. Now, you can only see 10 days with the Euro, and anything past 10 days, anything past 5 days, you always just take it lightly with a grain of salt because it will change. I will always keep you updated, but you can follow some kind of pattern. Now, the next 10 days with the Euro, you can see it does go all the way down towards Mexico, then raises back up towards the northeast. And you can see this with GFS. They're showing a lot of them high winds for the upper Midwest. You might get some blizzards coming through as you get in that big snowstorm coming in the beginning of December. But at the same time, as we go through the 10th and we start getting that deep troughing, brings high winds all the way down towards Mexico as well, and comes right up through the northeast. A deep trough coming through, bringing a lot of storms and a lot of big snowfall potential. Now, this is your next 10 days. 10 days, of course, always transitions and moves. Usually moves further to the east because everything we get comes from the west, guys. We see all this heavy precipitation coming all the way towards Mexico, towards the south, and once you go from the 10th on, it brings even a more amount towards Mexico, all towards the eastern side of the U.S. This is a classic El Nino setup. Now, this part, I know it can be confusing. You look at your AO, your Arctic Oscillation, we have the coldest dip that came through, and it is going to start raising away middle of December. It's going to start pulling this cold air away. Now, you can see all the way to the 6th and 7th, the cold air is still dipping through the northeast for that storm that's coming in the beginning of December, still bringing that heavy snowfall for everybody, for the Pacific Northwest, all the way through the New England. Then all the way to the 15th, you have that other section of cold air. Now, this is what's going to shoot through as we transition down towards Mexico before we really go on that above average temperatures, guys, maybe all the way until January. And you can see here from all the weather models that your AO, the Arctic Oscillation, the cold dip is coming down again and staying to the 15th. And this is that transition that I'm talking about. Matter of fact, when you look at your EPO, your East Pacific Oscillation, you're going on that high ridge, bringing that above average temperatures, but it's bringing that trough to the southeast as well. But after that, you're going to be going on a trough on the west coast, and that's where this cold air is coming through, and this trough is what's moving to the east. Now, I know this can be confusing because you can see your temperature probability outlook. You're going to be above average for the next 6 to 10 days, average in the white, and below average on the east side of the U.S. Now, if you look literally in 5 days, you start having above average temperatures kicking in while we get that snowstorm for the 5th and the 6th, going to the northeast, and you get that below average on the east coast of temperatures as that moves through. Then you get that above average pattern staying in, going further a little bit to the east. Now, this don't mean a warm up. What this means is instead of teens and 20s, you're going to be in 40s and 50s, which is above average. But you're still going to have that cold shot shooting down towards Mexico. So you can see right here as you keep on going, as that transitions to the east, you get that below average temperatures shooting through from the 10th all the way to the 12th down towards Mexico, bringing cold air with it. So here's what this looks like on your lower level temperatures, your 850 millibars. In 4 days, we started getting a snowstorm in the northeast, cold air coming through for the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. Cold temperatures moving through for that snowstorm. We go above average. We start going out a little warm up while cold air gets ready to shoot down again from the 10th. And it gets pulled all the way down the 12th, all the way to the 13th, the 14th, all the way towards the northeast. Very cold air shooting in from the north while we're going on this transition. And you can see this here. So starting December 11th. Now take this with a grain of salt. It will move. I will keep you updated. But shooting all the way down with that jet stream, bringing cold temperatures all the way towards Mexico. This is your morning temperatures once again after we go in this above average warm up, bringing a lot of cold wind chills all the way down towards Mexico. Now your highs for the day will raise right back up again. This is what I'm saying. You're above average. You're not going to stay in that cold air anomaly. Then as you go through December 12th, coming down once again, bringing cold temperatures, very much cold and frozen, feels like wind chills in the 20s, once again, all the way into the Gulf, guys. Now this will be raising right back up with your highs once again because we're in that above average pattern. I know it's very confusing, but the cold air is going to shoot down once again around the 13th for the southeast. And now look at Florida. Now you're looking like you're in the 30s and the 40s. And with the wind chills, you're really going to feel this as this shoots on through. Now your highs will raise right back up on the 13th as well. You're going to be in the 50s. So it's not going to stick around, but the wind chills are going to be really nasty. Also for the 14th, shoots down once again. You're getting warm in the center of the U.S., cold air on the east side, and cold air shooting in through the northwest. Wind chills, bring it all the way down again, all the way down towards Mexico again, even bringing some negative wind chills towards New England now. And just to show you that it's not just the GFS, guys, this is climate forecast system, the CFS, starting on the 13th, showing that the cold air does come in for the 14th, also through the 16th, and maybe even sticking around through the 18th and 19th, bringing some very much cold Arctic temperatures swinging through real quick once again for December. But showing right after that, maybe going right back on a warm-up on the 24th for Christmas and the end of December, guys. Now this part will move because we got to see where this trough is going to meet up with these temperatures so we know where this precipitation is going to be. So far, GFS is showing a big snowstorm coming out of that for the Tennessee-Kentucky Valley, hitting eastern Ohio Valley and the Northeast. Once again, hitting a lot of people, even hitting New York City, hitting a lot of people, but not hitting really Jersey, not hitting southeastern Pennsylvania, Delaware, or southern Maryland. So there's a lot of people still not getting it. It's still too far away. We can take a lot of time to get this perfected. Wait until you see what the Euro sees. The Euro is showing that by the time you go through late December, right around Christmas time, through early January, that troughing is going to meet up and bring major snowfall and maybe last all the way till the first week of January. A lot of snowfall potentially coming according to the Euro, according to the ensemble control member. Thank you again for your time, everybody. I will keep you updated on what's going on with this next weather pattern because it looks like it could be potentially bringing a lot of snowfall and bringing some more very cold temperatures towards the south. So there will be a lot of changes soon. So if you've never been here before, make sure you click the bell. That way you do get the latest updates. And before y'all go today, I know you have a big day today. There's a lot of severe weather going on. Joshua 1:9. I'd like to pray for you to just be strong. You will be okay. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. Remember, all glory always goes to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I hope he always keeps you safe every single day of your life, you and your families, and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Be safe, everybody.